Ciao, Neko-chan desu. Welcome to every stray cat who wandered here. This is the voice reveal I promised, and obviously this is my voice. Now, before we get into it, I'm actually nervous. So, before we get into the actual topic, let me warn you about two little things. First, English is not my native language, so mistakes and weirdly pronounced words are likely to appear. I'm sorry about that. Secondly, I want this to stay as close to my everyday speaking style as much it can. I did not wrote a script or planned anything because I want this to be just like if I were talking to any of my close friends. Although I don't really have friends who I talk in English. But to stay true to my actual speaking style, there is definitely gonna be swear words along the way. I tend to swear a lot. It's kinda a cultural thing here. I mean, it's crazy how much I see in gacha content that characters in the videos getting upset about swearing, or people in the comments section pointing out how, for example, a young child as Elizabeth shouldn't know swear words. Honestly, where I live, it's not that much of a deal. I've been never told, let alone punished, for swearing. Funny, but I only know one single person whose parents were both very religious and punished them for swearing. And to be honest, it sounded crazy for the rest of the class. Most of us being taught by adults around us to swear. But I'm getting off topic, so let's stop here before I keep a presentation about why swearing should be allowed. Trust me, been there, done that in 5th grade, and the teacher wasn't too pleased. Still got that A though. So, after this god-forsaken long beginning, let me get to the main point. I didn't really make a special video when I hit 1k because I wanted to thank you guys on my own voice. I really appreciate all of the love and support you are giving me. Damn, I never expected to get this far. I especially love how most of you are regularly visit my channel. Trust me, after seeing someone comment under 2 or 3 videos, I remember them. Honestly, I wouldn't come this far without you guys. I really love your comments, especially funny ones. They are making my days. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I said the spinny wheel will decide the tie, so let's spin it. And it's the non-gacholosis. Honestly, I was surprised that some of you were interested in them. I really thought no one will vote for this option. This might be the longest part, by the way, even with cheating a bit, since I have this little sketch what I drawn in class on paper, boredom does wonders. But in exchange, instead of just 2 characters as in most of the drawing options, I gonna make it all 4 of them. These are basically little cards with the main 4 humans of the little story I'm working on. Now before I start, let me show you guys a little bit of word building from this project. I'm going to show a picture, I'm going to cut it in with my little, I don't remember the word, video editor, that's right, I forgot. It's majorly a blue-themed fantasy world. The story is heavily amphibia-inspired. Who would suspect it? I'm quite a huge fan of amphibia, despite in the beginning I didn't even want to watch that series because usually I'm freaked out of female protagonists. Many of them is written so badly, but amphibia is different and all house is different, so don't come at me. I'm not hating of those are lovely. So where was I? I kind of forgot what I was talking about. Alright, I remember. I was with amphibia. So it's based on the same setting. So we have 3 friends and they end up in a fantasy world. Nothing crazy yet, right? But some of you might wondering, why did I say 3 when there is 4 characters? Well, here comes a little twist. The fourth human is the other three's bully. Yeah, imagine you and your besties being sent to another world with your bully. Wonderful times, right? Now, before I get deeper into it, let me tell you the characters' names. It's going to be easier for us to understand which I'm talking about. First, the protagonist, Faye Robinson. The second one is Adri, the third is Mela, and the bully is named Anya. Well, I've been working on Faye for a while, so let me talk about her a bit. She's a sweetheart and good-natured girl who loves to get involved to mischiefs, but never really coming up with the ideas herself. Usually she's just tagging along with the other two. Faye is the type who's care to have big dreams, so settles for less. However, she admires others with ambitions and big dreams and does everything to support her friends, essentially this leading her to ignore her own needs and put her friends before herself. Now, about her backstory. She lives with her florist grandma who took her in after her mother disappeared, only leaving her necklace behind. Despite this issue, she was raised with love but in poverty. To talk a bit about the story's plot, she and her friends ends up in another world called Aloya. The naming came from the word alloy. Essentially, this place is inhabited by 4 intelligent races, each named after a certain type of metal. So we have nickels, mercuries, lithiums, and tungstens. Faye ends up with the nickels after she's being found by one of them named Kit. Here I give you a little peek of my little concept of Kit and Faye. Okay, that's enough. Back to the topic. Basically, she gets kinda adopted by Kit's family, which includes his younger twin siblings and cousin who take care of all of them. So together they kinda try to figure out a way how to get Faye home. But they only have like 2 leads, which are folk tales about the so-called visitors, which are suspiciously described as Faye looks like, and the existence of niches, a word made up from night witches, smashed together, you know. They are powerful beings being sent by gods from another world to serve as champions in time of wars. But their investigation is not really going smooth since Nikas are really on the bottom of Aloya's food chain, so other races and monsters, everyone just wanna kill them, enslave them, and there are pretty dark and gore stuff along the way that they going through, so unlike Amphibia, I like to make very, very dark stuff in my stories, on topping like the madness. Now, let me get to the second character, Adri. And before anyone makes assumptions, this cutie is a trap. So yes, Adri is a boy. His hobby is cross-dressing and essentially he adores cute feminine clothing. Also, he often shows feminine behavior. Despite all of this, he doesn't dislike to be a boy and not aiming to become a girl, so he's not trans. He and his close friends refer him with male pronouns, but in the story there are characters that only calling him with female pronouns. So, and he's not really being bothered by it at all. He's just chilling with it, vibing the entire thing that no one dares more likely to assume his gender. Everyone thinking that he's a girl. Even there are characters that literally calling him Lady Adri. That's so funny. If I were to speak about his backstory, he's from a wealthy family. His father owns a company and he lives with his stepmother and half-brother in the mansion. His biological mother died in a mental hospital. The only keepsakes from his mother is a mirror and a necklace. His father and stepmother are both LGBTQ phobic and they treating Edri very badly. In the story, Edri is basically the clumsy little sibling type, but he keeps some deep dark secret which essentially will lead him down on a dangerous road right into madness. He's going straight up crazy and kinda doing the Marcy type of shit, betrayal and stuff. So that's going to be a juicy little drama. Now, the third character is Meila. She's smart, strong-willed, and kind, but she's selfish a bit as well. Her family is a complete mess. Her parents divorced. She used to live with her loving father, but he got himself into drug business and ended up in jail. Due to this, Meila was moved to her mother, who's an alcoholic, and she earns money by literally selling her body. She only thinks at Meila as a freeloader and even abuses her sometimes when she's drunk. I have this kind of imagine thing, this headcanon thing, but if I'm honest, the whole thing is kind of headcanon. So this has no reason. Anyways, I basically had this concept of her mother once or twice telling her that if she needs money, go and sell her own body, which is a really bad parental behavior. So back at the main thread. So for this reason, because of this abusive mother, Meila often spends the night either at Edri's or Faye's house. Her big dream is to become rich so she can get back on her mother. Through the story, Meila never intends to hurt anyone, but if she gets a good opportunity, she always jumps right into it regardless how much she hurts others. This behavior only changes when she finds an orphan child through the story and decides to raise them for herself, and that makes her think about others before herself in the very first time, and she changes by this. Now the last character is Enya. Her description will be pretty short because she's simple. She's used to be friends with Edri and Faye, but then she moved away. After a while, her family moved back, but by that time, she was replaced in the friend group by Meila. Enya was always a spoiled kid. Despite her parents are just normal factory workers and don't have a lot of money, they spend everything they got on their daughter so she can be very luxurious, and she doesn't really give anything back to her parents. So, to be simple, she's a brat, bullying her ex-friends out of jealousy. And it gets even worse when she gets to the other world and she ends up being the commander of the very militarized race, the Lithiums. She and Faye even has a fight where she almost got violently murdered by Faye. However, after that, she redeems herself and essentially she becomes the only one who realizes that Faye handling too much pressure, trying to keep together the friends, saving everyone all by herself, and she's the only one that helps her out. Phew, that was long, and dang, I didn't explain half of the messed up gore stuff I wrote in the script. There are so many things you can't imagine, from literally FNAF type of corpses being shoved into, well, not animatronics, but into puppets, and other messed up sibling killing and manipulating, demons and possession and gods and everything. It's really gets messy from here, so I don't really want to go inside it, because then this video would end up eternity. So let's just move on. Anyways, you must be already bored, So if you're not dead yet and you still here, then let's spin the spinny wheel game. And the second one is... oh, me and my cat favorite activity. That's gonna be a chill little art. Okay, let's start. So first, let me reveal what is our favorite activity. It might be a bit surprising, but it's taking a bath together. My cat loves water. Sorry, I keep saying cat. It's how I would say in my language if I was reading it. So that's a little mistake I might do often. Sorry about it. So let me show you my beautiful beast first. Here she is. Her name is Pamach, which is a word in my native language meaning fluff. Not fluffy, just one singular clumps of fluff. She's a Maine Coon cat, by the way, and currently 13 years old. She also weighs 8 kilograms, which is around 17 pounds, I guess. I might be off with the calculations though. I found out that she loves to swim when one day she jumped into the tub while I was washing my hair. Some of you guys might be wondering if that's safe for my cat. I mean, when you take a bath, you use shampoo, soap, and none of those are very safe to consume, and cat lick themselves. But don't worry, because of my allergies, I have quite a lot of them. I have my soap is made of literally goat milk, and it's so pure that it's basically edible quality. So if you wanted, you could basically just take a big fat bite out of it. It doesn't taste very good though. And to wash my hair, I literally use herb tea. So my cat is completely safe, no chemicals allowed in the bathtub. Let me tell you guys how this usually goes. I fill the bath with warm water. By the time the water fills the tub halfway, my cat already sits there, and since she's lazy, she makes me pick her up and put her into the bathtub. Usually we are in the bathtub about an hour. She swims around, and when she gets tired, just lies down on me and relaxes. My cat is very chill. She also loves the hair dryer. When we are done with the bath, I just pick her up with a towel and take her to my room. Then we sit in front of my PC in my gaming chair, and I dry ourselves with the hair dryer while I watch some anime or cartoon. I'm enjoying it, honestly. A lot. Actually a lot. Though it's a boring process, especially when my hair needs to be dried as well. It takes extremely long. But drying my dog would take way much longer, especially since she hates both water and hair dryer. By the way, my dog is called Baby. Not because of Circus Baby. I named the dog before I was a FNAF fan, so there is no relationship between Circus Baby and Baby. She's a border collie, by the way, a herding dog. Originally, she was bought to help me managing our goats on the farm, but turns out she's fucking terrified from goats and bugs and storms and other dogs, and you know what? She's afraid of everything. If she sees another dog, she hides between my legs. What a little scaredy cat, or scared dog, because my cat is the security system in the house. She dislikes you, prepare for claws and fangs, although her base setting is disliking human being, except the chosen ones, me, my mom, and essentially Jane-chan. Honestly, I never seen my cat liking an outsider before. I don't know what Jane-chan done with the cat, but she enchanted her immediately. No one before her and no one after her done that. I guess my cat was like, yes, she's a good person. I'm giving my blessing you. Might as well be friend with her. So it's funny. I also used to have a pet goat. It was called Hamika. He was a male goat and a very large one with big horns and all. He was having a little red ribbon in his neck. He was the only goat that we didn't took to the slaughterhouse because I essentially fed him from, this little, what do you call it? Never mind, I fed him. That's the important part. I can't remember words. My brain stops functioning at this part. So yeah, I kept feeding him, and keep talking nonsense here. So basically, Hamika, by the way, was his name. Did I said that before? I just forgot it. I'm getting very, very confused at this part. Okay, I'm just picking myself together. So basically, Hamika would mean something like little glutton if I try to translate it to English. He was indeed a little glutton. He was like eating my hair, my clothes. He just grabbed my little pants and he was just pulling off my pants. I was like, what a little pervert you are. It's funny. He was a funny goat. He passed away due to old age. Actually, he was the only goat of ours that passed away in old age. You might think it's cruel, but that's a farm for you. Goats get eaten oftentimes or milked. But that's life. I consider it life. I really not in the vegan type of thinking. Jane-chan is vegan. Not really. I'm like, okay, it's a very nice thought of people loving animals and treasuring animals. But essentially, I don't think, even if you don't eat meat personally, that won't stop the meat being produced, because we have pets. What the heck are you gonna feed the dog? Are you going to judge the dog for eating meat? Are you going to run around and tell the foxes outside in the forest that stop eating meat because poor other animals, poor little bunny that they hunted down? Like, it's nonsense. The important thing is that give the animal a good life, or that's my opinion, of course. So I like eating meat. That's it, basically.
And now here comes what most of you have been waiting for, the FNAF.
First, I have to say that it's probably going to be annoying for most English speaking people, but I literally pronounce Five Nights at Freddy's as FNAF. It's just how we pronounce in my country. It's kinda stuck with me, so don't be surprised whenever I just literally call it FNAF. I know English people don't pronounce it this way. Anyways, let's start with the ship I will draw. It's my favorite ship in the entire Afton family / FNAF universe, and this ship is Menard. I know it's not unique or a rare ship, but I fucking love it. Usually when it's about shipping, I'm a multi-shipper. I literally struggle with trying to decide which ship I should stick with. But Menard is the only ship what's unbeatable for me. Now, I promised to talk about my AU, so let's just stay organized. I don't find words again. So, I'm just starting with the ships, okay? That's going to be the easiest before I get so confused here. So, ships, what I will definitely have on my channel, Menard, of course, because I feel like they were meant to be. I mean, the ship where Michael is with one of the FNAF tormentors is fine, unless someone makes it toxic. I mean, damn,
There was a time when every Tormentor reunion started like either the Freddy masked or the Bonnie masked bully raped Mike. Like, what the fuck? Why? Who even came up with this idea? You know what? Never mind. It's more important how did this idea got this popular. I'm a bit freaked out of it. Although it's not really my business what others are doing on their channel. I also think Jeremiah's ship is workable and the Mike and Vani ship makes sense altogether. Well, in case if we talk about Glam Mike AU, of course. My big concerns with these ships, like, what about Ennard? I mean, imagine for example Vani dating Michael and Ennard is inside Michael. That's weird in so many ways. Of course, there are AUs where Ennard is out of the picture, but I don't want it to eat him out. Anyways, let's move on to the next ship of mine. It's Helium. For educational purposes, for those who don't know, it's William and Henry. I know people either love or hate this ship. Many says Henry would never date his daughter's killer. And then, the very same people having the AU where William killed his wife and they still going with the shipping. At this point, I'm pretty sure if she can be in love with her own killer, then why can't Henry date his daughter's killer? By the way, in my AU, those two, Henry and William, are childhood friends and they always trusted each other. It's also an AU fact, but William had unnatural, almost magic-like abilities since his childhood, which only Henry knows about. Plus, they had a crush on each other since their early teens. It just... Back at the time, being an LGBTQ member wasn't that accepted and neither of them had the guts to confess. Essentially, this led them to marry their current wives. This doesn't mean they didn't love their wives. They are both bisexual and fallen in love with Clara and Rose. It just, they never got over the feeling towards each other. And since in my AU, neither of their wives come back to life, because they both happy in heaven, I guess, Henry and William finally can be together in the afterlife. Next up is Elizabeth. She is the only straight Afton kid. She essentially dates Gabriel, the missing kid who possesses the original Freddy. Okay, I don't really have a lot of things to say about her, that's it. Moving on to Chris, that's the name of my crying child. I know he's apparently named Evan, how do you pronounce that? Anyways, but not on my channel. So, he was the hardest decision. I ship him with so many characters. Especially since I made the Tattletale and the It fandom a part of my FNAF AU. Usually I dislike mixed fandom AUs, but that's because people tend to mix fandoms that are too different. Something like Miraculous or My Hero Academia and FNAF. I mean, yeah, they are fun, creative, so I'm not hating on it or judging anyone who makes AU like that. I just being bugged by all those plot holes and really not matching vibes. However, It and Tattletale both have similarities with FNAF, and all of these is set in similar time periods, so it's just mixes well in my opinion. Anyways, back to the ship. So basically on my channel, Chris going to be shipped with Gregory. Now, let's get away from the Afton related ships and take a look at the animatronics. At the originals, my ship is Funny, which means Foxy and Bunny, or by their soul's name, Fritz and Jeremy. I know people are about to freak out on my children ships and flood my comment section with "Why are you shipping children?" comments, but let me answer that question with another question. Why not? People out there really acting like if it was illegal. Like, dang, those people definitely don't watch enough anime. Because if they did, then after the 15th legal 100 years of old lolly, including anime, they would be immune. They would case to be upset on so small things as children falling in love with each other. Actually, I watch so many anime that I even immune to adult and child ships. Whenever I see one, I'm just like, well, shit exists. It's not my kind of stuff, so let's not waste precious time on it, and I move on. Oh, right. If we are already at moving on, let's move to the next ship. It's Puppet, later on Marionette in my AU, and Golden Freddy, aka Charlie and Cassidy. They are both these out-of-ordinary souls, the strongest victim in my AU, so they are pretty much a power couple. At sister location, I don't really have a ship. Well, Funtime Foxy has a crush on LOL bit, but it's just one-way thing. The FNAF 2 animatronics don't have any soul except for Toy Freddy, Puppet, and Shadow Bunny. Shadow Freddy doesn't really a FNAF 2 thing in my AU, and the rest is just machines there. Also, there is no Mangle. She don't exist. Oh, I almost forgot. But most of the animatronics that I listed so far has souls. I don't ship just machines. Now, back where I was. The only ship I kinda not talked about is Mark and Simon, which is Bunny Masked Bully and Chica Masked Bully. I don't remember having any other ship in my AU, although it's possible that I forgot one, but I can't remember. So, here, before I close this very long voice reveal, I wanna talk about what content I have in mind, what I planned for my channel. First, I'm gonna work on the Terror Kids. I have planned to make content with them so long ago. It's almost also part of my FNAF main AU plot. I'll start out with a singing battle, then there will be a movie. Another smaller singing battle comes after that, and a reaction series. It will be followed by 2 mini-movie, but that's gonna be just in the FNAF AU, so that's not going to be a Terror Kids thing anymore. After that, there will be a family reunion with Chris and Michael. Yep, only them. My Aftons won't be reunited in one swell swoop, but one by one over time. Between the reunions, I plan to visit the past Aftons making content about them, and I wanna especially highlight the FNAF 4 Tormentors. I even intend to make a father-son singing battle with them and their fathers. I also intend to make amphibia content time to time, maybe some all house wits. So, yep. Besides those I'm working on some memes and trends, some little animations in my art style, but they are taking so hella long. So who knows when those gonna be uploaded. Well, I guess that's all what I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you for listening this through. Stay safe, stay amazing, and bye!